Thank you, King Wang. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to have you with us. A particular warm welcome to Vivian Balakrishnan. The minister has been an advocate and proponent of higher education in the U.S., and we've had delightful conversations about not just ophthalmology, his own area of expertise, but the Singapore University of Technology and Design. The Singapore University of Technology Design is intended to create knowledge like all the great universities in the world and educate technically grounded leaders to serve societal needs and innovators. I'm not going to tell you an awful lot about the university other than to say, if you were starting a new technical university from scratch today, what would you do? What would you choose as the intellectual footprint? How would you go about educating people and the like? And our university is quite different than any other university in the world. We have an unusual structure with no faculties, no departments. We have unusual degree structure with no traditional degrees such as mechanical, electrical engineering. We argue that what the world needs is products, services, and systems, and so we organize around products, services, and systems. And we teach in a very different way. So instead of coming into university and going to large passive lectures of 300 to 500 to 700 students, we teach in cohort-based learning communities. And so there's much innovation going on in this university, and I would invite those of you who are new to SUTD to come meet with us and learn more. Now, several years ago, I was thumbing through, I was in a library and thumbing through some books, and I saw some information by Buckminster Fuller, and he said that in the year 1900, the average citizen traveled in their lifetime 12,000 miles, presumably walking or maybe in horses and carriage or whatever it was, 12,000 miles. And that got me thinking, how much information did the average citizen have in 1900? And how much information does the average citizen have now or process now? Which I think is clearly relevant to this summit of the next few days. And I'm not going to get into, and there was some data that came out of Berkeley at that time, from an economist at Berkeley. But there's been some new research that's been done by Martin Hilbert, a professor at the University of Southern California, and you might be aware of this. I'm not going to get into how much data there is. He talks about 1.9 zettabytes of information, and a zettabyte is 21 zeros, right, in terms of this. Right? This is a large item on number. But he makes a couple of comments which I think are pretty interesting. He says, if we think about how much our ability to process information grows from year to year, his sense is it's really no much more than other biological processes, and that would be maybe 1 to 1.5% per year in terms of our ability to process information. And yet, telecommunications from 1986, or information from 1986 to 2007 has been growing at a compound rate of 20 to 25%. So it's clear that we're gathering much more information that we could possibly use in that sense. And just to give you some sense, and he, I think, gives us a nice portrayal of this information, he said if we'd like to store this information on a double-printed book paper, in 1986, we would have covered the whole landmass of the world with one sheet of paper, 1986. In 2007, we would have covered the whole landmass of the world by a book layered over this. And by 2010, it was 2 layers of books. Again, it gives you maybe some visual understanding of the growth of information that we've had. And clearly, the intelligent use of that and its social implications and political implications are important to us, an important part of what we hopefully will address over the next couple of days. And I'm looking forward to learn from you. Now, those of you who remember your school days may have remembered the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. The rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, at least one part of it went something like the following. Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Water, water everywhere, and all the boards that shrink. Now, if I could paraphrase a bit, information everywhere, that's quite a lot to drink. Information everywhere, it's now the time to think. Let's hope we think over the next 2 days.